courage to love.
Rocky Raccoon fixes his toy car. Deep in a lush, green forest, sunlight filtered through layers of leaves, casting dancing spots of gold on the ground. There stood a cozy little cabin, built from warm brown wood, with a touch of moss on the roof, and a wind chime made of pine cones and feathers hanging by the door, which made soft, pleasant clinking sounds in the breeze. The owner of this snug home was a little raccoon named Rocky. Rocky had a round face, eyes as bright and curious as shiny black stones, and the special dark markings around his eyes that made it look like he wore a playful mask. His clever little paws seemed made for exploring and collecting. Rocky was the forest's most enthusiastic little collector. His cabin was a treasure trove of wonders. The windowsill held a row of smooth, colorful stones polished by the creek, each with a different pattern. Shelves displayed leaves of all shapes, maple leaves, like tiny hands, slender willow leaves, and fan-shaped ginkgo leaves, all carefully pressed and preserved. Baskets in the corner held beautiful feathers, shiny beetle shells, interesting pine cones, and other pretty things whose names he didn't know. To Rocky, every item was a story, a memory of an adventure. But among all his treasures, Rocky's most beloved possession was a little wooden car. It wasn't a toy from a store. Last autumn, his dear old friend, a very wise and ancient oak tree, had asked Mr. Woodpecker, the forest's most skilled craftsman, to carefully carve it from a sturdy, sweet-smelling piece of pine wood. The car's body was sanded smooth and felt warm and pleasant to touch, with natural wood grain that looked like a tiny landscape painting. Its 4 round wooden wheels didn't have rubber like real wheels, but they made a cheerful clickety-clack sound when they rolled, one of Rocky's favorite sounds in the whole world. Rocky took his wooden car on adventures almost every day. They raced together down soft, pine needle-covered paths, sped down grassy slopes, and zipped around smooth pebbles by the babbling brook. The car was Rocky's most faithful companion on his adventures, carrying countless laughs and dreams. He often pretended it was a mighty fire truck, rushing to rescue a butterfly stuck in a bush, a speedy race car competing in the Forest Grand Prix, or a heavy-duty truck delivering delicious berries to every friend's doorstep. But one clear afternoon, after the rain, an accident happened. Rocky was excitedly pushing his car, trying to cross a fallen, damp log. Perhaps he pushed too hard, or perhaps the log was too slippery. There was a soft click, and the front left wheel, the one with the wood grain that looked just like a little sun, Rocky's favorite, came loose from its axle, plopped onto the soft, muddy ground, and rolled a little way. The car tilted to one side and wouldn't move. Rocky froze. He hurried over, carefully picked up the fallen wheel, and looked at the bare, stubby axle with its little round hole on the car's body. He tried pressing the wheel back against the hole, but it just leaned there and fell off when he let go. He tried again. Same result. Rocky's heart sank, feeling as if a thick, dark cloud had settled over him. He carried the car and wheel slowly back to his cabin. The world, so bright and sunny just moments ago, seemed to lose its color. My car is broken. Rocky placed the car and wheel on his little stump table and sat down sadly. His round, dark eyes began to shimmer with tears. What do I do? The wheel won't go back on. Mr. Woodpecker made this. Only someone as skilled as Mr. Woodpecker could make such a fine car. I'm just an ordinary raccoon. My paws are only good for picking things up. How could I ever fix something? The more he thought, the more impossible it seemed. A little voice inside whispered, "You can't fix this. It's too hard." He looked around, hoping someone could help, but his parents had gone to visit Grandma Raccoon on the other side of the forest early that morning, and wouldn't be back until evening. Mrs. Blue Jay, who usually sang from the branches, was nowhere to be seen, probably busy feeding her newly hatched chicks. Everything was quiet, save for the rustle of leaves in the wind and the distant murmur of the creek. No grown-ups were around to help. Rocky felt anxious and lonely. He paced around the little table like a wind-up toy with no direction. He looked at the silent car, then at the wheel in his paw, his mind in a jumble. Does this mean I can't go on adventures until it's fixed? I can't leave it broken. A tiny sprout of determination began to grow in his heart. Maybe I can look at it more carefully, Rocky said to himself. He took a deep breath and decided not to rush. He pulled a small log stool over, sat up straight, used his clever paws to steady the car, and picked up the fallen wheel. He brought it close to his face, observing it intently, like a real engineer. Very, very carefully. He noticed that the center of the wheel had a short, stubby wooden peg. The axle, the hole on the car's body, was hollow inside. Before, he had just tried to press the wheel against the hole, but maybe he needed to align that little wooden peg and insert it into the hollow hole. Rocky felt a glimmer of understanding. Gathering his courage, he gently held the car with one paw and pinched the wheel with the other. Holding his breath, he carefully aimed the wheel's little wooden peg at the hole on the car's body. His eyes were wide open, barely blinking. Slowly, he pushed the wheel forward. Contact. He felt the peg touch the edge of the hole. He added a tiny bit of pressure. Clack. Oh no! His nervous paw had wobbled. The peg skimmed past the edge of the hole and slipped off. The wheel didn't go on, and he almost knocked the car over. First attempt. Failure. Rocky felt discouraged, but he remembered his decision to try. He didn't give up. He picked up the wheel again. It wasn't aligned well enough. Try again. Slower. More careful, he whispered encouragingly to himself. He adjusted the angle, feeling his paw was steadier this time. He aligned, then gently pushed. The wheel went in. A spark of joy lit up inside Rocky. But when he let go and tried to place the car on the ground to test it, the wheel sat crooked. It turned unevenly, making a grating, scritch-scratch sound. After a few pushes, it wobbled loose and fell out again. Second attempt. Better than the first, but still not a success. Rocky didn't pace anxiously like before. He looked at the crooked wheel and started to think. Why did it go crooked? Maybe I didn't push it in straight. He turned the car on its side, looking at the hole and wheel from a new angle. It occurred to him that, for the wheel to turn smoothly, Mr. Woodpecker must have made the inside of the hole smooth, too. He gently poked his little finger inside to feel. Sure enough, the inner walls of the hole felt a bit rough and prickly in spots from the earlier attempts, not smooth anymore. I need to make the inside of the hole smoother, and I have to make sure the wheel goes in straight, not crooked, Rocky muttered to himself. But what could he use to smooth that tiny hole? His eyes scanned his treasure collection shelf. Smooth stones. Too big. Feathers. Too soft. Then, he spotted a piece of dried, stiff foxtail grass from last autumn, its fuzzy tip still attached. An idea struck him. He took the foxtail stem and carefully inserted its thinner, harder end into the axle hole. Gently, patiently, he twisted it back and forth. He worked slowly, stopping now and then to feel the inside with his finger. This took Rocky quite a while. When the inside of the hole felt smoother to his touch, he thought, what about the little wooden peg on the wheel? He used a piece of soft moss to gently clean the little peg, wiping off a bit of dirt. Preparations were complete. Rocky picked up the wheel for the third time. Now, his heart felt strangely calm, no longer frantic, but filled with a focused seriousness. First, he pictured in his mind the wheel going in straight. Then, his paws worked together steadily. His left paw gently steadied the car body. His right paw, with thumb and forefinger, gripped the wheel firmly. He aligned the wooden peg with the now smoother hole. His movements were slow, like in a slow-motion movie. He felt the tip of the peg touch the hole, made a tiny adjustment for perfect alignment, and then, with even, steady pressure, slowly and straightly pushed the wheel in. Click. A soft, clear sound. The wooden peg slid all the way into the hole. The wheel sat firmly, perfectly straight on the car. Rocky let go, his heart pounding. He gave the wheel a gentle spin. It turned smoothly, making that familiar, delightful clickety sound. No wobble, no sticking. Success. Carefully, Rocky placed the car on the floor and gave it a gentle push forward. The car immediately rolled forward happily, all four wheels turning in harmony, traveling in a straight line across the wooden floor until it bumped softly against the wall. It could roll again, and just as well as before. Wow! I fixed it. I really fixed it all by myself. For a moment, Rocky was stunned. Then, immense joy exploded inside him like fireworks. He jumped up from the stool, spinning around his cabin in delight, his bushy tail wagging excitedly. He felt as if a warm little sun had risen inside his heart, bright and glowing, filled with a feeling he'd never known before. It wasn't just happiness. It was a powerful I-can-do-it feeling. He ran over, picked up the car lovingly, and held it high, as if showing his achievement to the whole world. Just then, there was a fluttering sound by the window. It was Skipper the squirrel, who lived in a nearby tree, passing by and seeing Rocky's celebration. "Hey Rocky, what's all the excitement about?" Skipper poked his head through the window, curious. "Skipper, look." Rocky excitedly held up the car to show him, eager to share. "My car's wheel fell off, and I fixed it myself. The first 2 times didn't work, but I didn't give up. I figured out what was wrong. I smoothed the hole inside, and then I got it back on." Skipper listened, his eyes lighting up too. "That's fantastic, Rocky. That's really something. You know, when I was learning how to hang mushrooms in my tree hole to dry them, I failed a bunch of times too. Either they were too close together and got moldy, or the wind blew them down. I had to keep trying slowly until I found the right way. Doesn't it feel great to solve a problem yourself? Rocky nodded vigorously. His happiness doubled with his friend's understanding. In the evening, when his parents returned, Rocky rushed to the door, first not to complain, but to proudly show off his repaired car, explaining in detail how he had tried and thought through each step. Mama and Papa Raccoon exchanged a look of happy surprise, then gave Rocky a big hug. Our Rocky is growing up. He's become a patient and clever little fix-it raccoon, Mama Raccoon said softly, stroking his head. That night, Rocky lay in his soft, dry grass bed, holding his beloved wooden car, gazing at the starry sky through his window. His heart felt wonderfully full and peaceful. The day's anxiety, the tension of trying, the frustration of failing, and the final burst of joyous success played like pictures in his mind. He understood now, when he was willing to believe he might be able to do something, willing to calm down and look closely and think, willing to keep trying after once or twice didn't work. Then, that initial restless waiting patiently turned, without him even noticing, into a kind of magic strength. It was a strength that helped his paws complete the task and made courage and confidence grow inside his heart. With this new, warm, and sturdy understanding, Rocky fell asleep with a smile on his face. In his dreams, he and his car were already rolling merrily down a brand new path lined with wildflowers, heading toward even farther adventure.